Welcome everyone to The Howl. I'm Emily Durkin, and in this episode, I sat down with senior leaders Sofia Phillips and Claire Herik to discuss the first quarter of the Orange Crush. In this episode, we focused on the highlights of the football season, plans for the rest of the school year, and best of all, the process of making the themes. Thanks for joining, and we hope you enjoy. Hello everybody, and welcome back to The Howl. My name is Emily Durkin, and the producer of today's show is Ryan Antonucci, and we are very excited to have Sofia Phillips and Claire Herik in here in the Dispatch podcast studio, powered by Jets Pizza. Hi guys, thanks so much for coming.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Okay, so just to start things off, I'm going to ask, what is your favorite memory that has come from this football season?
Do you want to go first? You got it.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so I think one of my favorites was the 4th of July themed football game, and we all sang, like, with the student section, Revival. And that was, I don't know, it was so cute. Like, everyone just huddled up and we were screaming. It was so cute.
My favorite would probably be the powder toss, like the first game, white out, and I just, like, loved it. Like, it's everyone in one place, and then just everyone storming back to the stands is also the funniest thing ever. I love it.
Yeah, so looking back on the first quarter, because it just ended this previous Friday, what were some successes that you might want to keep going for the rest of the year?
I think the social media was really good with like keeping the students in the loop and updated.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our student section in general was really good about, especially towards the end or the past couple of games, showing up. Well, I mean, Friday was a little
Friday's
cold
an
and rainy,
exception,
so we
yeah.
understand. But, like, the homecoming game, that was so
Yes.
cool. So much fun.
Yeah, I think our attendance has been very good for, like, even away games, like, especially the USA theme. Like, we had a lot of people show up. Also, the music, I think we have, like, a couple good songs that gets the crowd hype every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, there's some of those songs that get us up in the press box pretty hyped up. So going off of the successes, what would be one thing that you would change about the student section from this past quarter?
Well, an unrealistic expectation would be, like, the bleacher size.
Yeah.
So we have so many students that come, and we just don't have enough room. But I don't know. I'd say, like, some people's behaviors was definitely something if I could control, I would.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And, like, the bleachers, it really helped when band was behind the football field. I don't know if they liked being there, but it just helped with us. Like, we had that whole extra section then.
Yeah.
All right. And has there been anything that has been, like, surprising to you? Like, coming into this, like, you thought would be, like, something, but then it turned out to be completely different?
For me, it's like how hype I have to be the whole game, where it's like I'm screaming my head off, like I'm about to pass out, but it's like that for a whole like 3 hours.
Yeah, you
But
can't.
I love it.
I
It's
know.
so fun.
You can't, like, pick and choose. Like, if you're in, like, the stands, you can't pick and choose when you want to cheer. Like, you just have to cheer the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Does it ever come with your voice being lost in
all
the
the
Saturday
time.
Every
morning?
weekend.
Every time. Yes.
So what would be the most challenging part of being in charge of everybody in the student section?
I think it's making sure everyone cheers. Like, obviously the seniors are the ones that cheer the most. Like, the front, like, 2 rows always cheer. But then you have, like, the freshmen and the sophomores in the back that, like, they're new. They don't really know what to do necessarily. So it's hard getting them to be, like, engaged the whole entire time.
Yeah. And they're very new, so I completely understand. And they're getting better. Like, obviously it's hard to cheer for a whole game, especially like if you don't know what's going on. That's for all grades. Like, it can be hard, but I think just getting hype is so much fun. So if we could get everyone all the time, it just makes the game a little bit easier. Yeah.
Do you think any of the quietness comes from the freshman bedtime bitterness?
Probably. But
That is our
you have
bad,
to.
but it is a tradition.
You have to. You can't do a football game without saying freshman bedtime.
So I saw that you guys were helping out with the big game back in September. What would be your favorite part about getting involved with that?
I loved cheering them on.
Yes.
Like, that was so much fun, and they were so good. Like,
I
it was
know,
easy
it
to
was
get
so
so hype
fun.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, just seeing them, like, work as like a team. Like I know it was like 2 separate teams, but seeing them like all work together and like whenever one person would score like a point, the whole gym would go crazy, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So, big question of the whole podcast, I might say. What is the process behind choosing these themes for the games?
Oh, well, I'll take you through our process.
Yes.
We met in the summer.
The summer. It all starts the year before.
It starts the year before. So we met to like discuss, and you kind of just like found like Pinterest themes, and then you kind of just name them off, like what like could possibly be a theme. And then, I don't know, it kind of just, like, trickles down, like, which ones are their top favorites.
Yeah. So we had this, like, mega doc with all of our ideas.
Yes.
And we had so many themes, and then it came down to just scratching ones off the list. And then after we get what we wanted, we also have to get that approved by the school and, like, make sure it matches with the district's, like, lists of allowable themes. So.
Yeah, so on here I wrote down that the district, like schools in 214 tend to like have the same themes, and Buffalo Grove tends to have them around the same time. So
don't get me started. Don't get me started on that.
Is there any alignment? Do you guys talk to the leaders of their sections?
No.
That's more of like a copycat.
Yeah, we saw that come out and we were like,
Yeah.
Like literally week for week they had our same themes.
It was very matched up. So that isn't based on district. Like you can choose a theme for whatever week. We did ours like based on what was going on that month. Pink Out, October,
the 4th of July, around 9/11.
Yes.
So things like that. So you kind of just have to think like what major events are in like each month that you could line up.
And then you also have to like think of, okay, well, this game might not have as big of a turnout. Let's do a good theme, like to get people to come.
Yeah.
Does the copying of the themes add to the rivalries between these schools?
Yes, because you want to be the student section that does it better.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. You can't like if you have the same theme, you can't have them beat you.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
So what would be your favorite theme that you guys rather if it's been like you guys have been the leaders, or if it's like when you guys have been in the student section, all-time favorite?
Mine is always going to be Orange Out, like basic, but it is so much fun. I always go all out every year. I've painted half my face orange. I just love showing up looking like an orange.
Yeah, it's basic, but orange definitely like I think it's the easiest too. Like everyone has orange if you go to Hershey, so like the hairspray, the fun colors, just everything. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So would there be any themes you want to see in the future, maybe from that mega doc that you guys have tucked away?
Oh.
Well, for basketball, we're going to whip out some of the themes that we didn't use for football. So we'll have
senior night's one.
Yes, I'm so excited for senior night.
Just as old people.
Yes.
I love that.
And then ski night
that's always a good one. I feel like maybe like camo we could always use for football playoffs.
Yes, exactly.
So I don't know. We got a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
So going through like the specific process for the themes that we just talked about, is the process for doing the cheers similar, or is it just like, you see one or it's just the classics,
Kind of similar. We also had a doc like full of the cheers. So you'd kind of just like the little snippets of the cheers, and then you'd be like, do we have any others? So I think we don't have a lot, so it's kind of like gets like run through pretty fast. So I think we need some new ones, but they're hard to come up with. Like unless you see one on like social media of another school doing it, like
it's hard to come up with something like easy yet creative. In the summer we had to learn all of them from last year, like if someone didn't know them, and then I think we're still trying to find some that we can make up. It's just really hard.
And I also feel like it's hard because like you have to teach the whole student section.
Yes. Yeah.
And that like we tried teaching them at the like first pep assembly. We tried teaching this like the student body the cheer. Did not go well.
Yeah.
I feel like you sort of got to be a poet to come up with the cheers.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's hard.
So going on to focusing on the rest of the year, is there anything that you guys will try and do differently to get the students pumped up during the playoffs, since Hershey is definitely going to be in them?
Yeah, that is going to be hard because the games are going to be away. They might be far. They are going to be cold. But if we could have everyone focus on, like, the end goal, like, they're on their way to state, like, let's go hype them up. It's going to be hard, but we'll keep up with the social media. We'll keep up with spreading the word. We'll try to pick themes that if
Brings
it's cold
people,
and
Oh,
it'll still bring people,
Yeah.
but like you can still be warm. So
Yes.
we'll keep working on it.
Yes, we will.
Will there be a comeback of the student bus?
Ooh, I forgot about the student bus.
I hope so.
I hope so, because I hope that'll like get
I'll
more
take the
people
student
to
bus.
We'll drive. Yeah, hopefully that'll get more people to like come support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you guys be most excited for in the second quarter, whether it's like an event or a sport that's starting up? What is the most appealing?
Well, second quarter is then that transition out of football
To
into new sports, basketball. We're going to have girls and
Yes.
boys basketball. That's going to be so much fun.
So fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really excited to like I love football season, but also like basketball.
It's a
student
different
section,
vibe.
It's a completely different vibe. I feel like there's a lot more like chirping involved.
Oh, there is.
Can I get a definition of chirping?
Ooh.
It's like heckling. Is that
Ah.
good?
Yeah. I see. So, what are you guys like? Is there anything specific you guys are planning for the upcoming season? Like anything that you guys are really trying to put in?
What we really want to focus on this year is for basketball. We want people to go to the girls' game, whether that's before or after. Like, come early, watch the girls, stay for the guys. I think the guys' games in general, they just tend to have more turnout, but our girls' team is really good, so we need to support them too.
Yes.
Definitely. The girls' team, they're amazing, honestly, and those girls on it are so sweet.
Yeah, they are.
So, is there a difference between like hyping up the crowd at Inside Sports compared to how you're hyping up the crowd now during football season and soccer or whatever?
Well, during the outside ones, I don't know. I feel like it's easier to hype up the whole entire crowd because you're kind of like in front of them in a way. But like for the inside, it's kind of like hard to do the cheers when you're like in a small little gym. So I don't know. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you have like, I've had a bunch of people come up to me and be like, what's the process of being chosen as the leader? So I'm honestly kind of curious too.
So it's like a mix. The group from the previous year will like find some students throughout the year who have been to all events, who are hype at every game, like dress the themes.
Yes.
It takes a lot of work being like the juniors and then trying to work your way up to, if you want to be an OC, like part of that might be you seeking out the role and filling the part. Like, are you acting as an Orange Crush student, like as a junior? Are you taking that leadership role? And then part of that will come from the sponsors help too. So it's like a group effort.
Yeah, so kind of like the current leaders obviously like put in their input, but so do the sponsors. But I think if you want to be an OC leader, you definitely have to like show up and cheer. Like a lot of people think it's just like easy. If I no, it's not. Like you actually have to put in the work.
Like we started in summer. Like that gives you an idea. It's a lot more than what people think.
It's a lot more,
Which I didn't realize.
I didn't realize that either.
Realize,
like the posters.
Yes,
it takes a lot of effort to make those, and then they get destroyed so easily, and then you have to make more. So, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever get repercussions? I noticed at the last game, a fence sort of got broken. Maybe not the last game, but when the football players come up.
That was the homecoming game, right? We broke the fence. Yeah. But, hey, they said they weren't mad at us.
Yeah.
It wasn't our fault.
As long as no one stormed the field, it was okay.
They would rather have us break the fence than storm the field.
So.
Yeah. But there are sometimes repercussions.
Which I think comes with everything. Obviously, not everyone's always going to be happy.
Exactly.
But it's a matter of what can we do for the majority of the students.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've seen that you two are both athletes, volleyball, right?
Yes.
Okay. I know that the Orange Crush has come to a few volleyball games. How does that sort of make you guys feel when you're actually on the court, seeing the people show up and, cheering?
I love it.
I love it too.
Years in the past, like volleyball doesn't really get that big of a crowd besides like the MSL championship last year since it was hosted at home. But other than that, like we have never gotten a crowd. Like volleyball isn't a very like, oh, come watch girls volleyball. Like no.
Yeah,
so seeing people actually like show up to the games, and like I think it's easier now that people want to come because we're both like OC leaders, so we get our OC squad to like come, and that kind of like brings more hype. But I love it. It's so fun.
It's easier to play well when you have people like you can hear cheering for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's better than just parents.
Parents
chirping
are
great.
at you.
Oh, the parents.
The opposing parents. Yes.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So does that, you guys enjoying the cheering, does that make you want to get these crowds to show up at the other sports too?
Oh, of course.
Like soccer, I can tell it helps them.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm so excited.
Like I can just like feel like how much it hypes everyone up like on our court. But I love if that like would translate to every other sport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So like speaking on like cheering at the different sports, like I know that not everybody is a fan of every sport. Does it ever get like a little bit difficult coming out to games where you might not know as much about the sport, or it's like slowly rising in popularity and you don't really know that much about it?
Yeah, definitely. Like I feel like the sport that like doesn't get a lot of like hype around it, like swim and dive.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they get a big crowd. And like I've been to a swim and dive meet, and I think it's interesting. I could never do it, so props to them. But like I feel like not a lot of people like understand like what to do at a swim and dive meet maybe. So I don't know, it's hard.
Yeah. I think another one is wrestling. I think this year we're gonna try to represent Mr. V, but we're gonna try to we're gonna try to create turnout at every sport this year. So I think another one is lacrosse. It's very new. Girls and boys has been around longer, but it's still like not a lot of people know about it. Not a lot of people know how the game works. But I mean, it's kind of just going and cheering. It's kind of obvious. If you score a goal, you scream. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And do you think that like going back on like showing up to the wrestling thing, I know that like Mr. V is obviously like one of the coaches and stuff. Do you think that will make students want to show up to support him? Because I know he's really liked so far in his first year here.
Definitely. I think, but I mean, I don't think people will necessarily come for Mr. V. I think maybe a couple, but I think it's low-key fun to watch wrestling. Like, it's so interesting.
I'm excited, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it helps when, like, our school, like Hersey, it's really big, but you do know a lot of people here in a lot of different sports. Like, it's easy to support your friends. That's how I am with soccer. Mm-hmm. I don't know really how soccer works. I obviously picked it up as I watched, but, like, I go to support my friends, you know.
Okay. And final question for the podcast. I know it's early in the year. It's only end of first quarter, but do you guys have anybody you have your eye on for the leaders?
Oh. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we can say that.
I don't know if we can say. We might. But
we might. Maybe.
Just keep cheering.
I was going to say, yeah, cheer, and then maybe you'll be it.
Well, do you have any advice for the people who will come in as legacies, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely say, like, keep up the legacy. Like, like, Orange Crush is known as, like, one of the best student bodies there is. And, I don't know, I think it's, like, just, like, such a good environment, too. Like, it's not just, cheer for football games. Like, it's such a good environment, such good space, and, like, it's like a family almost.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree.
Okay. Well, that's it for today's show. Thanks to Sofia Phillips and Claire Vanden Herik, and thanks to our viewers for tuning in. Also, thanks to our sponsor, Jets Pizza, right over there on Rand Road. That'll do it for this episode. I'm Emily Durkin, and on behalf of our producer, Ryan Antonucci, thank you, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.